Welcome everyone to Feminine Fridays. Can you believe it, Diane? We're here back again on a Friday. Woo!
It goes quicker and quicker, it seems like. So in our new reality, if you
Yes,
will.
in our new paradigm of living. And I picked a card today, as we do every Friday on um, from the Feminine Power card deck. I'm like, where is it? I keep it right here, handy on my desk. They're so cute. They really are coming into play a lot more significantly over this time. In fact, when I was like, oh, what am I picked this card. I'm like, how am I going to tease it out here. And so, I picked this card and I was like, ah, this is perfect, even though it's different now, it means something different now. But as just as an intro, on the front side, we have a principle. On the blue side, we have the practice for it. And so today's card, drum roll, please, is one of my favorites, actually. And a lot of them are one of my favorites, but this one says, surrender into the softness of your being. Surrender into the softness of your being. And
Beautiful.
yeah, it's like in this time we are so hyped, glued. We are not taking time to go back within. And I know we've talked about that. Take time to meditate, take time to really feel yourself versus the energy around us. And for those of us who are highly sensitive, it's hard. It's hard to just like disconnect that external energy. So there is a practice, and as I mentioned before, but each card at the bottom on the blue side has a symbol, and it's one of three symbols or two of three symbols sometimes. The star means it's something to do, a heart means it's something to contemplate, and a smiley face means it's something to affirm. So this is something to do. So here's actually what you can spend some time doing. Take a break from the energy and create a romantic home or space where you can relax, feel safe, and open up. Just even if it's a corner or a little mantle or part of your desk or a part of a shelf, make it like beautiful for you. Make it something, put a candle there, light a candle. It could be as simple as lighting a candle in your bathroom, something that just makes it a little bit more, ah, like, oh, can I sit back and what comes up for you? How do you do that?
Well, for me, I mean, I think it's important to have all of your spaces have something that, calm you down, that inspire you, that there's something that you love. And I like to have something like that in every room of my home. In fact, as you were saying that, I was kind of looking around, and not only do I have like my tree of life that my daughter created in my room, but I always have like, we have these like little soft blankets like in each of our rooms and stuff, and so just comfort things. And I find myself like lighting candles in several rooms. Like I'll light a candle in one room and then have one in another room, and just like this sense of just peace. Like we've been lighting fires every night just to have like, the visual of the crackling fire, and just really that coziness that we have this opportunity to create and do. And, this is a beautiful time of year, regardless of what your faith is. There's a lot of Passover celebrations that's happened. This is Easter weekend. A lot of people who, refer to today as Good Friday. I went to a meditation, virtual meditation this morning, where it was like, it's good because it represents so many different things of what are you letting go of in your life. And as you move into this weekend of, where are you moving towards light? What's rising for you? Like what, there's so many different symbolisms that you can use regardless of your belief, whether it's in a person, a Jesus Christ, a part of, Passover, part of whatever those things are. What are you rising up to? And what is the serenity, the cocooning that you can be doing this weekend as you're evaluating also with spring? What are you springing into? I mean, there's just so many things around us right now where we can look to beauty. I mean, Carrie and I have been doing our garden and having roses and just beautiful, creating beautiful sanctuary. And I think that that lifts our spirit and allows us to really be light in the world. So I think what you create in your space then becomes a reflection of who you're being in the world. So I love this as an actual activity to do, to create in your space.
Yeah, I love that idea of creating a sanctuary in your own home, or in somewhere in your outside, inside, some space, call it the sanctuary in your home, even if and I love the idea of the comfort, bringing some piece of comfort or beauty into each room. And sometimes, even if it's beautiful now, I was thinking, I was talking to somebody who's in the south of France yesterday, I did a live stream, and he's like, it's beautiful here. And I go, that's really cool. But I have a feeling that for me personally, I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but after you're looking at the same thing over and over and over again, you just don't see it anymore. It doesn't give you that essence of beauty. So I'm thinking that maybe, wow, could I change something up, even if it's the same stuff, but it's reorganized, or I take a few things away, or I create something a little bit different in there so that it tells my brain I'm not stuck in the same
Mm,
place. It's
yeah.
still beautiful, but what can be new and fresh and comforting about that? I have that sense I need that for me. I don't know that
Yeah.
everybody's like that, but
Yeah. I
I
think
love
so too.
I love the idea of what does sanctuary mean to me today? And I ask that, and then I go, oh, it means putting them on aromatherapy today. Like I forgot. Like that could be a piece of beauty in my life that just, whoops, have missed doing in that way. Like I
Yeah.
use essential oils every day, but I haven't been diffusing them. I've been putting them on my body, and I've been whatever I do with them. No, I've been cleaning with them. I clean with the lemon and
Yeah.
you know,
Me too.
not on the not on the granite, but on the floors and stuff. And it's been great, but now I can diffuse it.
Yeah, how fun. It reminded me when you were saying that when my daughters were in high school, I remember when they were just feeling like they just wanted a shift or change, that all of us would move furniture. And they would just like change up their room in a different way. And so when you change one thing, you change everything.
Mm,
So, especially since people are spending more time in their home, what could you shift and what could you change? Like you said, it could be one thing that you're doing that makes a difference in that. And one of the activities that I love doing with my clients is have them go in each room of their home and have them close their eyes and just start visualizing, like, what would you want to experience in this room?
mm,
Because sometimes what has been designated as, a family room maybe should be a yoga room, or what you have as your office is now, again, something else than you didn't even think of, right? And so it's a time that you can actually be creative and do something different, and also just enjoy more stillness. I think that there's a, you know almost like a push, if you will, to, well, what can you do during this time and do more, but also look at what can you do less of as well.
mm. I love that idea of enjoying more stillness and closing your eyes. I love the idea of closing your eyes and just being present to it, and then maybe a creative idea is going to come to you.
Yeah.
Maybe a sense of well-being, and closing your eyes also lets you do what this card says, which is surrender to the softness of your being. Like,
Mhm.
when was it that you actually felt the chair beneath you as if it was rising up to cradle you? Like, would you relax a little more if you knew it was there cradling you? Could you imagine being on a cloud and just floating a little bit more in your chair because it's there and you just softened into and surrendered into that softness of your being? Do we have to be so on it and anxious? And no, we don't, right?
Yeah.
We have this thing called trust in ourselves, trust in the universe, trust, like you were saying, in a higher power, trust that in the physical where we are right now is going to support us. So if we demonstrate that trust to ourselves physically, then other good things come, right? Like other things that we are trusting to happen can come in.
Right.
So adding that positivity of energy that good things are coming, that we're all doing our part right now to heal our world in a way.
Right.
to bring healing
Yeah.
to a lot of people. So I wanted to leave people with that thought that surrendering is actually a very active process, because that's what
Yes.
this card says, is surrender into the softness of your being. But that doesn't mean passive. It's an active process, because normally we're not surrendered. We're like on guard, right? We're in action, but it actually takes something to surrender.
Right.
And it doesn't mean give up. It means allow.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I think it's so important to give yourself that time. And this is what is, an opportunity for us now is to have to create more time to really be with ourselves and really start trusting ourself and our intuition and our own knowing. I mean, this is definitely a time that will be expanding into a great awakening of where people can really see life and will be experiencing this very differently than it won't go back to way things were before. Like this is really a new kind of platform to elevate to the next level of our being, and it's a co-creative process, so you get to be with yourself and go, just think, if what if going forward you had all the time, your resources were taken care of, just everything, you had more freedom and space, what would you actually want to be doing with your time? Like these are just some really great things to start contemplating with yourself, of how you want to experience your life differently, instead of that, like, oh, I can't wait till it gets back to where it is. Well, what if this is a new set point of what's possible going forward? We have that opportunity to really listen within, to really receive that wisdom that we all have within us, to give us those nudgings of what that's going to be for each of us individually and collectively.
Thanks for the love, John. And John was listening here, and he's up to some great stuff in the world, with family time and games, and really connecting within our family units, and our friends and our things. And like you said, people are doing seders, and we had a virtual seder, and we had more people at the virtual seder than we've had at in-person seder in forever. This was the biggest seder ever, and it was made possible because of technology. And one of our family members said, "You know what? For those who can't be here next year in person, we'll Zoom you in." We'll just make it happen. And it was so lovely to have everybody there and sharing a meal. And why not I've thought about doing family dinner time together, and cooking time together virtually. So I think there's going to be some, maybe we'll do that in person more too, where we invite
Right.
people over, and we have that slower pace of life. It feels like we're bringing the best of before technology. I mean, even before this era, where people what did they do it before they had TV? They gathered around, sang songs, and told stories and jokes and things. And now we're bringing the best of both worlds together, because it's if you bring everybody together on Zoom, you're not going to be on your devices. You're going to be on one device interacting with each other. It's pretty cool.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the new, we'll see. Where is everybody? I'd love to know from other people, what do you think is going to shift for the positive once we get back to the unsocial distancing, shall we say?
It's funny you're mentioning about that connecting. I mean, I've been doing more. We've got a group chat with my family, and we have like these little cards where they, like, it's called Family Time, where you ask questions to get to know your family better. And I've been taking a picture of one like every couple days for my family to respond to. And some of them are as simple as, like, what's 5 words that describe your family? If you could be an ice cream flavor, what would you be and why? And just these fun, like, little things where it's just hearing how different family members are responding to these. Really, in person, you wouldn't necessarily ask those questions or sit or have the time to have different people answer them at different times of the day and night happening. So it's just interesting ways that people are getting creative to connect.
Yes. So we're glad you're here connecting with us. We're here most every Friday for you, where you can find all the videos at the Feminine Power Cards on Facebook, or on YouTube, and us actually at femininepowercards.com. We've got quite a few of them and in blog format there too. So, and I know Diane, they can reach you at dianehalfman.com. And so we're
Yes.
here for you. Even if we're not here on Fridays, we're here 24/7 in one way, shape, or form. So thank you so much for being here, Diane. I miss you. It's great to connect here online as well. And any last words you want to mention?
Oh, just that, someone shifted for me. Instead of calling it social distancing, it's more of physical distancing, because
It is.
really there still is a social aspect to what we're doing. And I think this will be very temporary. And also just notice if you're having fear that's coming up, because it's really important. And this is where having those quiet time, that solitude will help you with that. If notice, like, you experience the fear, but don't live in the fear, and just have that where you're always have somebody you can reach out to, whether that's Laura, myself, or somebody that you just can reach out to each day. Don't allow yourself to get into the isolation where you feel alone. Make sure you do have a lifeline of people that support you.
Yeah, we're here for you. And one of the things I'm going to be coming out with is a relaxation minute, because I am a certified hypnotherapist. And I think just 1 minute of taking this surrender into the softness of your being can really help people. So look for that on my Facebook page on Feminine Power Cards here, as well as my personal timeline. And we'll be back next week. Thanks, Diane.
Thanks, Laura. Bye for now.